So here's the thing. The question isn't whether we're going to have midterm elections or not. We are. The real question is whether the results will be legitimate or contested. And that difference matters because Trump and Republicans actually need elections to happen, not because they're committed to democracy in any kind of way, but because elections are how power gets legitimized. Modern authoritarian systems don't cancel elections. They keep them because elections create the appearance of consent. They let leaders say, this was legal, this was democratic, this was a public mandate. So the goal isn't stopping people from voting. The goal is making sure the outcome is in their favor or easily contested if it isn't. That's why what we're watching right now with the shakedowns for voter rolls and raids in Fulton County and demanding proof of citizenship isn't really about election security. It's about controlling the systems that decide legitimacy. It's laying the groundwork to dispute the outcomes, repeating that elections are only valid if they win. None of it stops elections. What it does is inject doubt and fear and delay into systems that certify the results. And that is the point. So where does this actually get stopped? What does real resistance look like for you and me? Here are the choke points. First is certification timelines. Elections become real when counties certify them and then states certify them on deadlines written into law. Delays are the danger zone. If certification happens on time, interference loses any kind of leverage. Second is documentation. I talk about that a lot. Paper ballots, audit trails, chain of custody logs, tabulator tapes. Courts don't rule on rhetoric. They rule on evidence. When the paper trail exists, fraud narratives collapse real quick. Third, election administration staying staff. Intimidation only works if people quit. Raids and threats are meant to cause resignations or mistakes or missed deadlines. When election offices keep functioning, all of that pressure fails. Fourth is courts enforcing process. Courts don't decide who wins elections. They decide whether rules were followed. There's no standing, no evidence, no missed deadlines. There's no relief. That's why the real fight happens before results are finalized. And I really want people to understand this very clearly. To protect election integrity, it's not enough to just value democracy or vote. That's the bare minimum. It takes people willing to force compliance with the law, especially when red states or local officials try to bend it or stall it. And by force, I'm not talking about violence or chaos here. Force means exposure. It means documentation, and it means legal pressure. It means exposing violations in real time, creating records that courts can't ignore, making non-compliance more costly than compliance. Because election interference doesn't succeed by persuasion. It succeeds through silence, delay, and exhaustion. So the counterweight isn't outrage, it's visibility, it's sunlight. When deadlines are tracked publicly, when certification meetings are watched, when intimidation is reported immediately, when violations are documented instead of debated, officials lose room to maneuver. They can still want to interfere, but they can't do it quietly, and they can't do it without consequences. That's how election integrity is actually protected, not by just hoping red states and Republicans will do the right thing, but by making it legally, procedurally, and publicly impossible for them to do the wrong thing. Stay steady, eyes open, guard the Republic.